Una wey dey watch me, dis na quick message on the mpox sick na salon wey dey comot from Liberty Online TV. As of today, the case dem na salon just dey go up. For make sure say you no get dis sick, National Public Health Agency don say we for wash we and all thing, avoid boku shakan and all, and no go near person wey get the signs dem of mpox. And sef, if you sabi anybody wey get high fever or rash and body, make im rush go na hospital one time. Dis message dey come to you from Liberty Online TV.
A nation forged in resilience from the ashes of the 11 years brutal civil war through the shadows of Ebola, COVID-19, and the mudslide. Sierra Leone rises, but the journey is far from over. Governance strain. Youth demand more. Women demand more. 60% in poverty. But what if the solutions lie not in silence, but in dialogue? This is not another talk show. This is State of the Nation, where every voice feels change. From Freetown to Kono, we are turning debate into action. No script, no spin, just Sierra Leoneans rewriting their future together. So we bring you a movement not just to speak, but to be heard. Speak out. Hold power to account. This is your nation. This is your voice. This is State of the Nation. Only on Liberty TV on Facebook, YouTube, and on www.libertytvonline.com. Every month, the last Sunday, 7 to 9 p.m. Tune in. The nation is watching.
You are watching Liberty Online TV. This is Liberty Online TV powered by Orange Sierra Leone. Orange.
Good morning, viewers, and welcome to another edition of the Breakfast Show. And this is now the final edition of the Liberty Breakfast Show, where they come to you from Monday to Friday with different issues and topics, then, but things then where they happen at the country. This is now the final edition, and we where they bring this edition come to you this Friday morning. Mina Khadija Bangora.
And Mina Mabel Kaba, good morning. Today na Friday, the 4th day of July 2025. And inside this edition of the Breakfast Show today, after yesterday we see official release from State House where they confirm say the President, His Excellency President Julius Maada Bio, don appoint Abdul Aziz for be the Auditor General na Audit Service Sierra Leone. Today na this edition of the Breakfast Show, where they can look at what's in the future hold for government financial accountability under in leadership, although in approval they na Parliament now. As na they go get for go through before Parliament agree or not agree for this position. What in this mean to financial accountability? Now that's what they discuss in this edition of the Breakfast Show.
Well, you said for the watch with this morning, go get the opportunity for add your voice and also tell we your thoughts about the things them way we they discussed at the Breakfast Show this morning. As we tell you now, they can look at the appointment finally after several months where it don't act in this capacity from the term where His Excellency the President suspend the former Auditor General and in Deputy Abdul Aziz don't they act at this capacity as Auditor General. Finally, yesterday we see a press release we come out from the office of the Presidency. They don't appoint him for be the new Auditor General. What in this mean for financial accountability? Abdul Aziz will continue for audits the office of the President with all of the things that will happen through Lara in trial because then say it perform professional misconduct because they audit the President in overseas traveling then and also ask a third party for more evidence them. That's not be the crime where make Lara Taylor Pierce be lost in work. If Abdul Aziz go able for audit the President's proper one, we can look inside all of the issues there this morning. You say for the watch you get your question, you get your comment, you get your thoughts. Send them in the comment section at any of the platform the way you watch we, or you can as well text we on +232 74 200 545. Now we orange number. We go read on our messages them later on inside the program. As we continue for look at financial accountability under the new Auditor General when Abdul Aziz we don't act for over 2 years in this capacity since the term where they suspend Lara Taylor Pierce and in deputy. So they then go through the tribunal and then go through Parliament who said them being vote for let them pull Lara Taylor Pierce as the Auditor General of Sierra Leone.
Right, and for talk about this, I want to welcome at the studio this morning, Marcus Bangura, one of the Executive Director for Citizens Advocacy and Governance Network. They are this morning for can talk on this. Good morning and welcome to the program.
Good morning, thank you for inviting me.
All right, so they come back to you shortly. Let we just quickly go to Parliament for let we get an update. Also yesterday, when Thursday, June 3rd, 2025, we see one of the Paramount Chief Member of Parliament, them, when Honorable Alhaji Musa Baimba Foray Jalloh, the third of Tonkolili District, bingo lay one public petition documents at the House of Parliament for Seka, the land agreement, where it say the people na Sambaya and the Gia Chiefdom na Tonkolili bin get with the Gento group of companies. Let me just watch as Al Hassan Kuruma go update you on this.
Thursday, June 3rd this year, the Paramount Chief Member of Parliament, Natonkolili District, Alhaji Musa Baimba Foray Jalloh III, don't lay the public petition paper for Seka the land agreement where the people of Sambaya and Dian Chiefdom been get with Gentle group of company. Where even they talk, Honorable PC Alhaji Musa Baimba Foray Jalloh III say the people of Sambaya and Dian Chiefdom, where them are the custodian of the land, don't agree for make Gentle group of company mind Natonkolili District.
Is supported by a cross-section of concerned citizens and rightful landowners of Dansoya, Sambaya my chiefdom, where Kasafoni is, and young chiefdoms, is rooted in the constitutional right afforded the people to express grievances and seek redress through their elected representatives. Mr. Speaker, members, the prayers in the petition are as follows. 1. That Parliament and the government of Sierra Leone accept, recognize, and respect the collective and unanimous resolve of the people and tribal authorities of Dansoya, Sambaya, and young chiefdoms to enter into a valid lease agreement with Gentle Group of companies. 2, that Parliament recall and be admissible declare null and void the Sierra Leone Mines and Mineral Development and Management Corporation in brackets allocated minerals and mineral.
They continue to say Parliament and the government for respect the decision of the people of Sambaya and the Yan Chiefdom.
And 75A, the Public Petitions Committee investigates the SLMNDMC's engagement with landowners. 4, that Parliament convenes a special hearing involving stakeholders and community members regarding the Kasafon Iron Audit. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, in presenting these prayers, I urge this House not to view this petition as a motion against the government, but rather as an opportunity to demonstrate our collective resolve in addressing our respective children's concerns through legitimate, lawful, and democratic means. I respectfully submit this petition for the consideration and pray that the House acts with wisdom, fairness, and urgency on the matter as presented before the House.
After the Paramount Chief Member of Parliament, PC Alhaji Musa Baimba Foray Jalloh III, be don't lay this paper na the well, the Speaker, Honorable Singapore Solomon Thomas, being get this for see.
We meet on Monday. We meet on Monday at 2 p.m. prompt. 2 p.m. prompt on Monday. Members of the Public Petitions Committee, we meet on Monday at 2 p.m. prompt to deliberate on this particular petition and, if possible, invite witnesses.
All this be after this BNTM Gentle Group of Company they go sign agreement with the landowners na Sambaya and Yan Chiefdom na Tonkolili district, and after that agreement, press release been come out from the Sierra Leone Mines and Mineral Development and Management Corporation. We say Gentle not for do any mining activity na Tonkolili district. We make some people na Sambaya and Yan Chiefdom write public petition paper we PC Honorable Alhaji Musa Baimba Foray Jalloh III don't go lay na Parliament. So till the time when Parliament go look inside this petition, and Liberty Online TV go continue for bring you updates on them. For Liberty Online TV, Al Hassan Kuma the report.
All right, we dey continue with the breakfast show where they come to you live from Liberty Online TV, and today we can look at waiting the future all for financial accountability for government under the leadership of the newly appointed Auditor General, winner Abdul Aziz. But before we can start the conversation, let me just go back to Usai. All the issues start from where the president been suspended Lara Telopias when the former Auditor General so they then set up a tribunal for investigate the alleged crime they would then say he commit for consult a third party for overseas trip where His Excellency the President be making a Lebanon. Usai them discover say them be give them fake receipts for audit purposes. From that end the tribunal done the work, they hand over the report to the president, and the president be sending a parliament for let them go vote for remove the Auditor General Lara Telopias. Let we watch this report where Mohamed Kamara do for take we back Usai all the issues then begin. Then we go can now and discuss waiting na the future for accountability and transparency under government as President Bio yesterday appoint Abdul Aziz we don't act in this capacity for over 2 years for be the fully Auditor General now.
Inside November 2021, the government be suspend the first-term Auditor General Lara Telopias and in Deputy Tamba Momo. Then be suspend them because them be audit President Bio emergency medical trip where he be go do na Beirut inside Lebanon. According to the government, this trip na one way one private businessman been sponsor, and government be support with $170,000 we make the Auditor General be question the receipt where the president in office be submit. Because of this, make inside November 2021, them be suspend Lara Taylor Pierce and in deputy as them be accuse them for professional misconduct and lack of professional performance. After this suspension, government be later set up tribunal for investigate their action. The judicial tribunal now part of waiting the constitution recommend. Although some civil society organization be say the tribunal be lack of fairness and transparency, as them believe say the 3-year investigation report where the tribunal pull na do be get plenty issue like selective use of evidence and safe they don't be work with some party testimony from the defense witness where them believe say that be undermine the independence of the tribunal. After where the tribunal be don't do their work, then be recommend some reforms. One among them, na the recommendation for effective mechanism for the monitoring and discipline of the Auditor General, as people believe say, this dey against the reason we make them create this position, for make government succeed for pull Lara Taylor Pierce and in deputy from them position. Government need the support of 4 opposition member of parliament for get the 2/3 majority. December 20 last year, after where Parliament be vote the motion for pull Lara Taylor Pierce and in deputy, government be get 2/3 majority votes na the Salon Parliament, as 100 MP then be vote in favor for pull Lara Taylor Pierce and in deputy, and 36 votes against that, and safe then be get 1 void vote. From that same day to now, Mr. Abdul Aziz be done serve as acting Auditor General for Audit Service Sierra Leone. Thursday, July 3rd this year, State House be pull 1 press release. According to Section 1171, na the Sierra Constitution 1991, Act number 6 of 1991, after where government don't consult the Public Service Commission, President don't pick Abdul Aziz for be Auditor General na Audit Service Sierra Leone, and a Parliament go get for agree for this appointment. For Liberty Online TV, me na Mohamed Kamara, the report.
Welcome back. You still watch the breakfast show on Liberty Online TV, and from that report, the way Mohamed Kamara puts together also give background information regarding how Lara Taylor Pierce may end up for left the Audit Service Sierra Leone. Today we tell you so we can look at what the future holds for government financial accountability under the leadership of Abdul Aziz. We got to go through Parliament after we yesterday President Bio Bingia in appointment as officially now the Auditor General for the Audit Service Sierra Leone. Now the studio once more we get Marcos Bangura, we now the Executive Director, Citizens Forum for Democratic Accountability. They are this morning for we discuss on this particular issue. We just don't listen to a report where Mohamed Kamara put together also look at the transition period from how Lara Taylor Pierce be eventually left the Audit Service Sierra Leone after where Parliament's been finally vote say if I left this position, because one of the recommendations that we've been come out from the tribunal where government been set up against them for seeker investigation we've been do now the office of the president. Let we just go back first. Lara Taylor Pierce left in the Audit Service Sierra Leone 2-3 years down the line. How you go describe how this acting Abdul Aziz, we don't in this position now, we don't official from the presidency, now in the Auditor General na Salon. How you go assess how in work don't sound like so far in terms of getting the reports, when are the Auditor General's reports?
Yeah, thank you very much first for the invitation, because this is a very, very important topic for discourse, especially we get to do with financial accountability. Now the live wire for the survival of Sierra Leone, the finances. And the reason that we make them form the Audit Service Sierra Leone in order for audits the finances so that they're not going to misuse them. Of course, except without blind or reluctance for accept the facts, Lara Taylor Pierce, we don't do extremely a good job. A good way, even way them pull them, they not pull out of the general public, which we know, as a result of the fact, say, they try to maintain the question of accountability, it proved well so far. So we all know the circumstances under which they pull them, despite the fact that government gets immune claims which make them pull up. But the general public also mindful of the circumstances under which they pull up. The rundown way Mohammed do, a clear-cut example, he capture everything and explain itself. So 2-3 years back, she was there. Now we get Abdul Aziz. After we left, then we appoint Abdul Aziz for making act in that capacity. Himself try at his own level because in the act, and when you the act, you get for take time, otherwise they will cripple you. But despite that, the reports for the past 2-3 years, again, so damning. Not so like results we would talk say, they don't actually expose a lot of things. My own estimation, they come out with results where reports that were very, very damning. You look at financial losses, we so heavy. Because you look at the one way just come out for 2020, is it 2023? It's so damning. So I hold the strongest conviction, say, himself try very hard. And being that it don't move from acting to a substantial Auditor General, would expect much from her, more than waiting it don't already do. So they could expect that from her, because now it's substantial, it get the capacity. For the people of Sierra Leone and the future of this country, the aspects of financial accountability, a need for do in level best, for make we self receive and so well, and at the end of the day, we praise them. Because with importance in life or way you work, try for do your best so that even if you die, you'll be remembered that yes, this person also been performed in his capacity and he prove which is supposed to prove a society.
So financial accountability, like they look back how it don't like inside in Temia way it don't the acts and the capacity before it come now officially yesterday from the office of the presidency officially they don't appoint them. Let we look at publicity around the issues we come out since 2021 where Lara begin get this issue to now where this Abdul Aziz don't get this official position. The hype we been there around issues and where they come out inside the Auditor General in reports. How you go assess what's that happen so far? People are still interested in waiting the Auditor General they put in this report.
Yes, to a very large extent. I even see new things. Say, for example, I've been doing an article on ghost workers epidemic. They drained state coffers dry. That is to say, now one important thing that we, under administration, we capture, we bring to light. Because the number of ghost workers, today, imagine, we don't fetch ghost workers from time, especially among teachers and force. But now you don't go beyond that. It's like a syndicate. And a syndicate will don't exist for a very long period of time. Where you just get few people there. Where they manage that particular area and all the resources of them ghost workers and they, I believe, say go in their pockets. So the Auditor General's reports began for capture that, it raise them up. Right? It is for the ACC as well as the government, because the fight against corruption, the issue of accountability depends on the political will. That is to say, the government itself. Because a situation wherein it expose, ghost workers, say, Salon they lost millions of leones or dollars out of ghost workers. That's something we thorough for investigation. The aspect of service delivery, the audit report within these 2-3 years capture that area. They say service delivery is extremely poor. That is to say, and when you talk about accountability, that answerability or responsibility, where you, as a public figure, for actually take as an obligation that whatever resources allocated to you for undertake a particular project, you get the responsibility for come back and tell we about the project. Even if there is some amount of money left, you need for bring and come. So it captured that aspect there of service delivery. Also, in general, financial losses. we get heavier, spate of financial losses that this country has in their reports today go back beyond the current year to other years. And which I find out that the fact say, as I talk about the political will, government gets responsibility. If you look at the number of staff, if you find out say Audit Service Sierra Leone get a backlog of issues where they're not even investigated, but then get stages where then they investigate. Like they cannot start to investigate a particular issue till you reach a particular point where you go to, I think, is it the red belt, something like that, right? They mean say, therefore investigate that one day immediately. So far so good. When you look at the two, not that to the juxtapose or make comparison. Lara don't do extremely well in your side. In removal, it provoke society aspiration because we believe, say, for some time, for quite too long, it do well. Even the government, if the government be able for investigate the former government and make sure, say, they take some resources from them, especially the one they way them found wanting. That's a result of the work of the audit service under the auspices of Lara. Now, we get a new person we actually doing in administration as an acting, Auditor General. It continued with the same trend. To me, it continued with the same trend. Yes, I know we don't say everything was 100%, which is very impossible. But to some extent, it's able to do a lot of things.
Abdul Aziz continue with the same trend after the act where they don't sack Lara Taylor Pierce. Then we go back. Lara ain't only crime where he commits now because he asked for a third-party receipt from the hotel outside the president's bingo lodge na Lebanon where he been go for go do in medical. From that 10 day to now, with all waiting don't happen, Lara lost in position as Auditor General. Abdul Aziz occupying fully this position now. You think, say, he go get that free will for audit His Excellency the President, especially where campaign overseas trip there?
The ball data in courts. As an acting Auditor General, my assessments na that it tried to some extent, taking into consideration in position, taking into consideration the circumstance under which they sack Lara. The time way Lara come, I think it's like the first person itself we don't ever serve in that capacity today, right? Before we get President Bill decide for suspender, form a commission, we prove otherwise, and as a result of that, then pull up, go to Parliament, then do all that stuff today. Now, it takes time with them. Even the investigation of State House, especially overseas trips, it takes some time. That was like the first one and the way I believe say we experience. So meaning that this new guy we don't take over now, Abdul Aziz, I get the conviction say gradually it push. It's very difficult for investigate president because for the mere fact that it take action against Lara, right? It take action and try for belittled in position, right? Means say themselves not all that too serious about accountability because you for serve as an example. So where you failed, we expect say although during the past 2-3 years, I don't feel say State House has been investigated under Abdul Aziz.
Yes. Say the bar way Lara be don't raise. If Abdul Aziz go able for reach to the standards and go into search offices for the investigation of financial
I look at in one situation under Lara, there are 3 presidents there. They don't serve in the capacity of Auditor General from Chijan Kabayintem to Ernest Kumar, right? Then to Madabio. Now this last term, we see that kind of investigation there, right? So meaning that if you look at in your capacity, it will be substantive Auditor General. Now if you look at Abdul Aziz, it's like you there in waiting. But what you make admire to some extent. Even at that, the principles of auditors, right, it demonstrates that to some extent.
When we look at a scenario where happened this BN team,
Yeah.
then pull a report on the feed salon program. After that, some backlash begin come from the public with the figures. Then therefore come back with a press release making clarification, say, there be error from their own side, especially in terms of the figures. We camp on credibility. We all in a salon. We know how much people be they anticipate for look forward to audit reports and know how government demand the taxpayers' money. But now it seems like nobody not even care for know how Audit Service Salon they do their work, the kind of reports they within the pool, even the way how Parliament they look into their reports. Then the Parliament get a whole lot of backlog of audit reports them where they not even touch it.
Yes, that make us say the political will count a lot. The willingness on the political players for make sure say they make accountability well rooted, right? Of course, quite recently there was this report about the Agriculture Ministry, as you put them, say the feed salon program. The report was that the amount of money was it $800 million. I stand to be corrected, right? A situation, changing it again, you know, they question credibility. But again, it's possible to say it can be an error between the dollar and the leon. It's possible say it can be an error. So because me, I level criticisms against that particular witness FD. Just like how you put I don't believe say that figure there for change. But at the end of the day, they give the reasons. And when you look at the figure, that's 800, right? 800 million. I even do an article on that. I say $800 million or 800 million, 800,000 million. So that's what people call themselves. Understand? I say it is wrong. Be it what it may. Whether an Leon is wrong for make that particular ministry they use that amount of money. Whether a dollar, it's wrong for make them use that particular money day. By the end of the day, that was the result. Humans and the Auditor General in the first place, we get to what they call division of labor, right? Every sector, I believe, say they get professionals. I can be an administrator and not sabi about finances. You understand? But me wanted to do work alone. Like you always say, division of labor or government itself is like a generator made up of various parts. Each part for playing your role. You motokawe get. Each part gets a role for play, right? We don't go able to play every time. If one side gets issue, it almost affect the whole system. So in that situation, be it what it may, 800 million leones or $800 million, it's too much for making people in the use. It's like liquidating the finances of this country, especially the way we finances the struggle. You know, we money the struggle presently. So looking at him in that situation, it's possible. I can say the position where he gets now was different from waiting he get in terms of control, in terms of regulation, in terms of independence, in terms of non-fairness. Because if you look at it now, in period this for acts soberly, because I love to say President Bio will get in mind again, right? If this man come, he investigates, you know, thoroughly, then he expose a lot of things. I don't say he will get mind.
Why you feel say no will get in mind again?
I say so because look at how Lara Telopias, you know, them plan. Now because of he investigate the president, the Lebanon trip.
So if the same thing happen under Abdul Aziz, if instead do such investigation, ask a third party for verify receipts them, you think say that's not going to happen?
I the doubts. Because I the doubts, it means President Bio not of this world. You understand? Because you don't sack somebody, say the person investigates you, but you don't put and say that because of that investigation. Oh, you understand? Eh? Instead, they talk about professional misconduct, right? So if you get another person who come, if it be contagious, you know, consecutively, you don't get this one, you don't expose something, you pull them. You understand? Then you get this other person, he do the same thing, you pull him, it a mess in him. Totally. You understand? It means, and now, he's the president of West Africa in the sense that of ECOWAS as an organization. It will serve as an example. It will be an exemplary.
The professional misconduct will make Lara lost in job be a reason why for the past 2-3 years the Abdul Aziz we don't act in that capacity today, nor reach in investigations of financial accountability na the office of the president. Could it be one or two we don't influence that in decision day for just let that slide?
Well, I don't feel say that. Me, which we believe that the fact say in position as acting, they keep pull at any time. But this, although there is a law, they decide for pull them otherwise. That is liar. Now we get a new person. Where the act is like you name the like you talk say who they go school and the treasury you say where they like there for 5. Now they told me they sit for 5 GC. You understand? Or they will take you give them a university or institution, they will tell you you name them in pencil. So for eraser, it's not difficult. Until you go in pen, where you don't get that ink. In all that easy. I make I say the ball dinner in court, it gets a rule for play. Because if I use this opportunity, now we don't get, right, for reflect on the past and correct time.
Earlier say, since the term where Lara do the audit na the president in office, they not audit the president in office from that term. The public not ever see a report from Audit Service say they don't conduct an audit na the president in office. Yeah. But the president, they receive money for in office from the taxpayers' money.
Yeah. Yes, in that perspective, it was wrong that Abdul Aziz not venture that area day. It's totally wrong because if it be part of incredibility, you know, if it be part of the measurements, for let me measure, I use, you weigh them, right? But again, there is one thing in my mind, that acting capacity, right? Now make I say the ball day, now in courts, this is an opportunity, right, for make, you know, even look behind, right, you know, left no stone unturned, so that at least this period, if the 3 years we don't take, if he perform extraordinarily and make sure say audit the areas then they believe me, in action now will cover right the 2-3 years when you investigate the office of the president. And one thing again we need for know, investigation by the Audit Service Sierra Leone, it take time. It take time. Probably, I might not be right. Since then get a lot of uncovered issues or a lot of issues that don't come up with our backlogs. Probably during this short period, so time it want for address them that make us see new things that will come up. You understand? Like what I talk about ghost workers, right? Then again, being that so after 1 year, most of the things that way they happy right now, that's it they will not to immediately happen. A few will just happen when they come out with. If you just watch the audit report, some of them don't take back like 3 years, 4 years, right? Because of the backlog of cases. Just take it time, you go through the audit report. In the final say some don't take years back. Even the last investigation then go back years back to over 5 or 6 years where they include. So meaning that the president can still be investigated. These 2 years, it can still investigate the office of the president. Now that's me believe. As far as my knowledge knows, you get a lot of investigations that they happen, which happen this year. You understand? And I make 2023 they present so 2023. So you get 2024, 2025. And inside 2024 and 2025, the president fall when the man take over. So meaning that we not for just Basham, you understand? Because of the fact say that 2023 reports come out. Right? It gets time, I believe they're going to investigate the president's office. If you look at Lara in report self, you understand? Not immediately. Some can happen immediately. You get others when it happen immediately, it takes some time. One, because of when you look at the office, they don't get the manpower. and they're supposed to get the manpower. Now make I talk about the political will, right? For make sure say, then strengthen that particular department there, then do a lot of employment. You know, you get a lot of people we at least are able for the all over the country. But as it is, the number small when you do the operation. That make political will, if you're ready for fair accountability, if media are in capacity as president, at the strength in that particular area.
So
but
these
adding
presidents beyond now within the capacity as the president of Sierra Leone based on the actions, it get the will for strengthening transparency through the audit service alone?
It gets a lot of factors that we look at. We start with Lara in case. If the president, in his own volition, he use in powers for suspend him, they form a commission, we investigate him, the commission come otherwise, and from their parliament, they get majority in the parliament, and they only need 4 people informed, or MPs from the APC, of course, then get them for the day. They go through. So at the question accountability, you understand, whether the president not get absolute political will on accountability, we'll get a lot of issues. The clerk of parliament, now a case, it has to do with accountability, right? We'll get a lot of issues we don't come up, you get to do with accountability. You look at the ACC, right? You look the number or amount of money they don't try for recover. You look at the accountability committee in the parliament under the deputy speaker of parliament. In the final see, they don't do better than even the ACC in terms of recovery. You look at the number of years, you understand, with the ACC don't they, and we take over that responsibility, that accountability, and the number of ministries or departments there where they don't pursue and make them pay back certain children to government. So accountability is questionable because accountability is all about you performing a duty, then you get answerability. You for answer. If for feedback. Most important, that use the word feedback. If for give feedback. If for be, you know, that accountability aspect. Now we'll talk about financial accountability. When they talk about accountability, the aspect of good governance. So in the situation wherein we renege over accountability, then there is a problem. You the question whether the political will is actually there in the fight against corruption.
For let financial accountability able for work correctly, one word inside they get for do it independence of the one then where they all the one that we then supposed for also accounts for ensure see then talk with and do with citizens and money in this case. This same President Biowede now when under in leadership, Lara Tilopias lost in job when they were in opposition. When Lara Tilopias in that capacity, they be the pull down in reports of the then government, then be the support and the glad they say it expose issues and where they happen around financial accountability. In this case now, the independence of the Audit Service Sierra Leone, this particular appointment, it gets any impact towards the independence of the work within they do, because if we see the way how Lara left under professional misconduct, then an appointment don't come up for somebody who don't act in the capacity. As humans, that fear they go, they wait you to do, the members say the one way you can take over, it left because of professional misconduct. What you go say around the issues of the independence of the
work? That make with the question the aspects of political will in respect of accountability. Yeah. You look at the situation, there is all possibility for fear. You understand? The fear factor can always be there, right? Because you could take and say the same thing will be applied. But if you get common sense, would suggest, say, having, move in a way that not sack liar, Abdul Aziz himself, it not go all that easy. But the independence, we institutions them, if they're independent enough, starting from the judiciary, you understand, to all other aspects, if there is independence, the country will develop. Now, let's look at one aspect. We come in terms of budgeting for audit service, now through the Ministry of Finance. Meaning that even for audit finance can be difficult. You understand? Because they'll go waste their time for let them get their money. You get the point, So it's very, very difficult. So the question of independence, it's questionable, honestly. Because finance, now one example, finance, we don't go to make their budgets. Finance will go cut and force. And finance, I just believe, my own view, say, they will likely, they strain Audit Service Sierra Leone. And when you strain, they don't be able to perform their duty. So the fear factor on the side of the president is also a reason. So these are the two very important. The independence of our institutions, very, very important.
A lot don't they happen in the area of corruption, especially with government office system, how then they spend the taxpayers' money. We don't they see USAI reports them from international donor partner like the IMF, World Bank. They withhold budgetary support for us because the right thing not been done from the side of the Sierra Leone government. Not to secret, say, financial indiscipline they happen. What do they anticipate for see from Abdul Aziz now that he don't fully take over the audit service?
Yes, I keep repeating, say, the ball, they are in court. The penalty now kicks, very good. If we try very hard for make sure, see, there is financial prudence. But again, we look at the Audit Service Sierra Leone. We have to look at the reports. We get for do hair split on them. Most times, then they come out with damning reports. But it's the government taking it serious. Because year in, year out, the same financial mismanagement, loss of resources, they continue. Now make I say the political will, right? Because I don't see no reason where all these reports go on come. We get what they call compliance. Ministries and the reports can always they advise ministries, the MDAs in general, right, for compliance. But they do the same thing. When auditors go audits, at the time of auditing, why you don't forget your receipts and everything in place? Sometimes they don't provide the receipts. And when you don't provide the receipts, that means say you're not able to give accountability. You're not able to account for them. And they slow the process of Audit Service Sierra Leone. You see? Because my area na democratic accountability. Right? We get to do with every aspect, whether it's financial accountability, right? Whether it's political or whatever. So I'm so much interested and have so much to do a lot of research in that area, right? Because if you look at the country, recently I do an article where I say democracy dismantled. The coup we don't see coming. People feel say that military coup, you understand? But it's not military. Now when you undermine democratic principles then, like good governance, you understand? When you undermine them, you get weak institutions, you get court orders, you get executive orders, you get constitutional amendments. Then they amend certain constitution for legitimize the wrong. You understand? So all them so they create very serious problem. I'll tell you, Audit Service Sierra Leone no go ever be independent. It will be tied. I mentioned finance, Minister of Finance, for example. You understand? Then also we know what happened, where in fact we did also for discourse, where a predecessor was sacked because he tried to do the best she could, you understand, for ensure financial prudence in this country. And yet, at the end of the day, they found out one thing.
Even though now the Constitution give power to the President for appoint an Auditor General, but in this case, from your capacity now C4D, what do they expect, say, now the side way Abdul Aziz for draw the line between in political appointments and no say he gets a job for do, even though now the President they appoint him and parts by work gets for cover the office of the President to again the appointments. Also now they expect him for draw the line.
One thing first, the Audit Service Sierra Leone for be completely independent. Government for create the avenue for make them be independent. You understand? Where in fact, in terms of budget and other things, forget in your way the source for the for him. Now, you look at it now, a need for draw the line. If I not say, the one way be there before him, right, set record, would expect and say, if I can broke the record, right, we like a set, if I broke the record, enough for relent, neither renege. If I continue, for make sure say, the office of the president will be exempted. If Mr. Self that the president, I'm not going to allow that for me. You understand? Because if your office, you don't allow your office for be investigated, or you make people in fear for investigate your office. It's like with the pour water on the dog's back. Then, how you expect Audit Service Sierra Leone for go audit the other institutions them properly? So Audit Service for draw a line. By drawing the line, it will be fearless as the head Auditor General and make sure say investigate every institution, every individual na the country. But if you get the fear in him, it not go succeed. Let make it try. If he succeed, if the president wants back, make his aka. If you feel say for do accountability, do what is good, not good for the country, then let it come. Let's not worry about that. It continue because that's the only thing. But if you say you want the position at all costs, definitely you go become a political lantern. Where perhaps the president or the powers that be, they regulate the strings and they gesticulate our society. You know the lantern there. You get post with the shake, get something where they regulate. Then you see the lantern, they shake, that kind of thing there. So it will become a stooge. It will become somebody where they will be manipulated. And it will not go down in history. You understand? And in name. All through the faith, who for jealously protect with personalities them as individuals them. So having that position, right? I impress with them somehow. You understand? Because I mean, they feel say the acting Auditor General not for do much like how he do. You don't mean say he do absolutely, but he really push. Don't forget about this last incident where he gets a kind of mix up, right? But you look at the audit report, if you take her, you look at the financial losses we expose and a huge lot of other things that we bring to light in terms of contracts. Even the ACC, then give the ACC through the Amendment Act of 2019, the Anti-Corruption Amendment Act, give powers to the Commission, right, for enter into a contract. Say, for example, if we go into a contract from government, in one of the people we for able to approve that contract. And now instead they investigate the contract. So as a result of that, he able to expose a lot of them things today. Look at the report. The report talk about the office of the vice president. You understand? It talk about the police, wherein you get a lot of money them where they divert. It's there. But at the end of the day, you still get political stooges where you can't talk say, not to say it be not just investigation. Then they forget say it was the same audit reports used, just like you mentioned, where the government by then in opposition be the support and castigate the present opposition, where them in the opposition they tell the government de la power. So then do all that one day. So the audit report are something for respect. We for respect them, but for the disrespect them. But we use them against others. So are we accountable to the people of Sierra Leone? Tax money, taxpayers' money being used. And now they pay so much tax. Any way you buy something, they pay tax. A lot. So government they get a lot and lots of resources from we. If they mention, say, because of this issue of financial mismanagement, even international financial institutions, where they support Salon, some of them, they give second thought, they withdraw. And under Abdul Aziz, how he go able for mitigate that? He gets a lot by being thorough, right? When you thorough, you make sure, say, you fearless, you expose them to the but government act. But if the government not acting them, it's a big problem.
Part of Lara in crime we commit based on waiting people from government they say na be they give information to African Express for expose shady dealings or alleged corruptions by officials of this current administration. What if now we Aziz don't be the fully Auditor General? Or Africanist press begin out revealing articles them again about corruption.
Yes.
Then go point figure again on Aziz.
It means the government defeats itself. Just like out of, if we mention that, and I know as they call malice as well, it means it's sacking now something way they put together because it becomes suspicious. So malice be on the day, right? I wish Africanist press continue for pulling to the I don't feel say that woman would do that. That's my own conviction that you get a lot of things the way they come out, but you're not working alone. You work with people, and I document them where they move. Now when they talk about a digital wall, you know, when they talk about digital wall. So how they say they don't go expose? Why you feel say, let me know say the APC that some members them be get money because the monies were at the bank. So it's easy for making you go further. Now we get how they call this normal way let me the first for doing election. That we ID card. You understand? That alone, he able to investigate you. That mere which is FD, he able to know everything about you. You register business, you wait yourself as fast as the name you use and all that. Then it's easy for making able to identify you and not say by you. So as a result of that, pointing ugly fingers at Lara Telopias because of the kind of situation and it's wrong. And why not for vex? Government not for vex for that because you come under the pretext of fighting corruption, ensuring accountability, financial prudence, and financial discipline. So if not then see then day, you know for vex. If I for glad you say for Lara, you understand? Say if not media power at the compensation at the compensator every year, where you perform extremely, you expose them to then day, you deserve compensation.
Based on the reports we don't come on so far under Abdul Aziz, by your estimation and assessments, how you go describe what's in the future hold for financial accountability under in leadership?
Being that it be the act, then to some extent it exposes a lot of things there. The only question about now the office of the president. But I only view say the office of the president, other offices in there, where in fact for the past 2-3 years not investigated it. So I know the Olam or I go question them, understand? But I don't go level so much criticism on them for that. Because if it started this year for 2024, you understand, for 2025, it can start this year where they pull the next audit report, 2024, it include them. So as a result of that, because that's a lot of people they say, and I have to look or delve so much or level criticism on them because of that. So having acted in the capacity of acting, able to expose some of them things the way he exposed so, right? During Lara Telopias, itself be the peak on certain institution. For example, I remember, was it the Ebola or this Corona? When there be special investigation on them, you understand? So just like we do this special investigation equally on feed salon projects. So it is within. So we expect say now that it don't move from that particular position, wherein to some extent it perform, others will say not perform, you understand? But it depends on public opinion. The sum total view the public will on them, right? Being that they come in a capacity independent theoretically, but practically it can be held because of some of the reasons the way we don't add there, right? But I just believe say that substantive position we all it will do better than before. If you don't perform now, you get your own blame.
And if you foresee say go do better in terms of raising the bar, anything that you think say if I learn from what Lara been they do?
They say history na like a laboratory, right? Where they come with anything way for experiments, right? Dissect them, which is fine. So Lara in case to this term, including President's Bill, the commission established and Parliament, if I serve as a laboratory to them. You understand? They say you can. They say history is the story of the past compared to the present for the benefit of the future, right? You don't look at the past, lie in case, he raise the bar, you know, he do everything where people can get reservoir of respect for. Then you see all waiting happen. Now he did a better position for perform better than liar.
Now talk about capacity, Marcus, before we can look at people and messages them in terms of capacity, in terms of integrity. You think Aziz get that capacity for do thorough audit and bring out a report when we will come back with a press release apologizing that, oh, we take responsibility, we figures be wrong?
Capacity and integrity, you mentioned. If you look at the situation, me not can just use one thing, right? Say, for example, Upikida will get to a good school. Start it time, some parents want vex because the Pikin come first, second, third, fourth, or fifth. But look at the fact, say, the Pikin gets 80 or 90%. You understand? The percentage for promotes, than 90%. You know, come first, second, third. To me, I need a vex panel, right? Because for attain that particular level, they force, not too easy road. So looking at Abdul Aziz, if I know say there are a lot of criticism against him in terms of capacity, in terms of integrity. Integrity in the sense of the last occurrence we get for do with that feed salon program at the Ministry of Agriculture. It make a lot of people point ugly fingers at him. It gets scar. You understand? Everybody gets scar in the world. There is nobody without a scar. But it gives a scar. And that scar, they militate against them. Because just imagine if that incident did not be happen. Understand? If it not be really happen, when would they do this kind of assessments now? We don't for mention. You understand? Which happen. Before they assess the other one. So if I try very hard, even if you know to initiate them, you understand? Because I don't say get people away responsible. And certain times typo problem can be. So irresponsibility, now for read. Right? When they do the reports, because what can happen is you say, you don't do your own, they come, they ask, you know, job place. Somebody compile them. Don't say go take a page by page. They compile them, they counter. You watch. So that was a failure that inside, we not properly watch. If at all, which they talk say, na 800 million, 800,000 or whatever. You understand? 800 million. If at all, that's true. A failing, now because you don't watch the thing proper. You understand? It don't mean say that you go sit down for right time. And typos, the issues that we can take place, even if we come on text and other things. But that one is different. If I give you all, for make sure say it come out to something way just too very, very unique. So that error day, don't give an error. So as a result of that, just like we talk, waiting will be experience. If we learn from that, we don't go out for see a repeat of that. Because if a repeat of that happen again, believe me, the people of Sierra Leone self go ask us for making left. You understand? If you do them once, this because you learn from mistakes. So from that mistake, if you learn and put yourself in a particular position for proving yourself, for beat the one way he meets. That make I say, liar set record. If you broke that record, now that it don't become substantive, liar was substantive. You understand? He not be substantive, but now he is substantive, right? So he gets all that it takes. And if you make sure say, it show that integrity and try for show the capacity. Try for get people them around them, right? We knows well. You get, I don't know if like in deputy or which yourself, where I want for believe say is financially inclined. I want for believe it. I think like accounting or whatever I read, right? I stand to be corrected.
Then we look at messages there now where people don't send. Then we will come back to you. The first one they take now from YouTube. This one from David M. Tully, they say such appointments may lead to perception or realities of political influence over the auditor's work, undermining the independence essential for effective oversight and accountability.
Now the Facebook page, the very first message we are going to look at come out from Albert Fuji. They say, Mr. Marcos, are you talking about fear or you mean integrity here? What is currently missing in our nation is integrity that has totally lost.
This one, they say, appointing the Auditor General by the President can pose significant challenges to the rule of law, primarily concerning independence and impartiality.
Some soldiers say, after what's happened to Lara Tilopias, I honestly don't believe the Audit Service Sierra Leone can operate free from corruption. It feels like her removal was meant to send a warning to scare off anyone who takes that position in future. What's even more disappointing is that members of the opposition who are supposed to stand up against injustice actually supported her removal. That raises serious concern that accountability and political influence over key institutions.
All right, we look at more messages. We don't come na the program this morning. This one, they say, Mr. Marcos, do you believe the new Auditor General will truly have the freedom and authority to do his job independently, or do you think he might be afraid to audit powerful offices like the presidency because of pressure or the fear of facing consequences?
This one says, good morning, Liberty TV. The government's confirmation of the acting Auditor General is seen as a positive step, but many Sierra Leoneans are still concerned about the controversial removal of his predecessor, Lara Tilopias. There are doubts about whether the new Auditor General will have independence and confidence to audit powerful institutions like the Office of the President without fear of political pressure.
Martin Sandy, they say, Mr. Marcos, if you look at page 33 of the Auditor General's report 2022 and page 213 of the 2023 Auditor General's report, you will realize that Mr. Abdul Aziz has audited the Office of the President. More messages. This one, they say, Mabel and Khadija, after what happened to Lara Tilopias, I honestly don't believe the Audit Service Sierra Leone can operate free from corruption. It feels like her removal was meant to send a warning to scare off anyone who takes that position in the future. What's even more disappointing is that members of the opposition who are supposed to stand up against injustice actually supported her removal. That raises serious concerns about accountability and political influence over key institutions.
The final one we may go look at is say appointing the Auditor General by the President can pose significant challenges to the rule of law, primarily concerning independence and impartiality.
Just they say Mr. Aziz is appointed on experience and qualification, and hence let me join the many wishers in wishing all the best in his office. All right, from their messages then will they come back to Marcos?
Yes, so will be the talk whether it's about fear or integrity. I was just trying to be brutal with the facts. Yeah, I don't say if for fear. That's for taking into consideration. I don't say for fear. I say there is the possibility you are acting. Put yourself in the position. And besides Martin Sandy, don't help out. You understand? I don't refer we to the 2023 audit report, and a particular page say the president was investigated. Now, let's take this into consideration now. What's happening in Lebanon? Not repeat itself. Lord, take into consideration, say, the removal, right, gets for do with what happened in Lebanon, right? Does that mean during the time of Abdul Aziz, he also go Lebanon or other side? You understand? It don't mean say if that's they been do something with them, till and day. It don't mean say the president himself will be cautionary after that. You understand? I don't feel something because those they say they fake them. If they fake those receipts, sometimes the other side they will apply another strategy. We don't mean say because of waiting up in that particular 10 day, we are exposed, right? the acting, former acting, for also expose similar thing like that, right? They say, like you talk say, you get for something get for happen before something else happen. But if we take a generally say, because Lara was able to expose that particular which is day, say this Abdul Aziz, the period we act, if we're able, then we are not fair enough. Yes, other areas, in the independence of the Audit Service Sierra Leone, independence of Audit Service Sierra Leone will be questionable because society or the country as a whole, most institutions are not even independent. You understand? Are not even independent. But it is necessary for those institutions to be independent. Because once they are independent, believe me, the country, the government could get checks and balances. Checks and balances. We are in one organ, they check the activities of the other. So institutions as well, able for check the activities of the other. Once they do so, it will be piped down. Because in terms of integrity, somebody say, is a man of integrity, a man with a wealth of experience, right? I don't know how much, right? But I believe, say, for the mere fact that it don't work at that place there for some time for quite too long, just like we can tell people, we on certain things there, I clarify to them, as at my age, I've never been at the police station. Because you get for protect your integrity. Now, only few people, especially in this country, future self, you understand? So, that man I've never had, I don't know how much, but I've never had anything negative to that which is every day. Then besides, once you for take again into consideration, whatever way somebody may just get for occupy that position there. We're not going to left at vacant. It could have been, if not Abdul Aziz, it could have been any other person. And if it be any other person, we will still discuss the same discussion. So as a result of that, Lord look at him as he is. Lord look at him, say, he gets the opportunity for make a broke record. Right? They don't tell me, say, 2023, they don't refer we, and I like the citation because he refer we directly. Just that, I for don't read them if I been get an answer. You understand? For prove whether it's true or not true. But I don't think say the person will lie publicly. So you don't refer to that. Meaning that the office of the president was investigated. Just that, the waiting happen, Lara, to tell them pull up. Now, Lebanon, not happy under him. And we don't for think so. We don't for think so, right? If they not be investigates the office, although me talk say, if they not be investigator, they still get for investigator. Because I know say there are departments, there are certain areas them where they're supposed for investigate, but because of the fact say manpower and all incident they get backlog of issues then where they come out and say, so say that make them no good. But with this clarity, that means say it was investigated. So why on that grounds we for point ugly fingers? Except if everybody in Sierra Leone believes say the presidency office are the most corrupt office. So in whatever way, corruption will take place there at all times. So not that they support fear, because that person raised the issue. It's not about fear, right? It's about integrity. But I've been naked with the truth for say it's possible. And not mean say it's possible. When I talk say it's possible, right? There is all possibility say the man was not even fearing. He do investigation, he not say anything out.
So now with Abdul Aziz at the helm of affairs, now Audit Sierra Leone, should Sierra Leonean be hopeful for a proper and thorough audit starting from the office of the president take and on?
Yes, like a mixed bag, just like you see the various submissions that we don't come. I just the crave on the indulgence of Sierra Leoneans them for make let them get hope with honesty. But again, sometimes with the experience, it can be very difficult. The spate of corruption, it can be very difficult. But if only Audit Service Sierra Leone get judicial powers, if they don't get them, right, now that we for advocate for. Make Audit Service Sierra Leone, right, get in your courts. Just like when they do that commercial courts. You understand? Even that commercial courts, if they find out, say, members of the judiciary, you understand, they still take cases there. So cases they come out, they come back in the courts. So if we allow that, if the president is very, very serious, where in fact it will go down in the annals of history for a very, very long period of time, even if he die. Some of who they write the history books, right? If we allow that particular body there for the independence, it get judicial powers. If you get judicial powers, that is to say, you commit an offense, like most of the reports when they carry it, and then they try you. But as far as you get for good court first, you get for good anti-corruption, then you get that kind of thing, they're not going to be ever effective and efficient as we desire. But if we get a judicial powers, they amend, the act, give them judicial powers, believe me, corruption will reduce.
So if that's not happen, corruption still there around the corner.
It's still the political will. There are other channels to get parliament. Make you always talk, say.
But we don't see inside parliament on the battle with the ACC about who get the powers for looking inside this report where the auditor can pull.
That particular report there, that parliament's property. I don't feel say they don't ever submit to ACC. You understand? ACC just get powers. It's like a leakage for them. You understand? When they look at them, a leakage to them for let them do their own work. But it's not theirs. The parliament. So make us say forget effective accountability committee, the parliament, or parliament in general, they become effective. We don't need ACC. We don't need them. Parliament able to do all that. We don't need them. If you get effective parliament and there is sober accountability, the parliament, wherein they do the oversight, right? But if parliamentarians, I don't go with parliamentarians, I don't go with them, but we are there, Leo Rock, you understand? Let me invite we para a program to start to do mining. We went there. At the end of the day, after they they talk to everybody, the food they go give man themselves. That food. After that, members of parliament meet to the team. You understand? Because I've been on mining, meet to the team. To me, as a media person, we've been good here. You understand? I said, it's not right. We go to the sites, we go to other areas, check. I've been expecting them for really, but I just want to laugh. Tell them come on. You understand? So it's a problem. Then they're happy even at schools. You send auditors for go audit principal. We then go and put them first at the office. Then serve them. At the end of the day, say they will get brown envelope and all that. Then go their way. So nothing did take place. And that's all the aspects of corruption we will talk about in this country.
Abdul Aziz go able to stand the test of time in the future, challenges where they come with in work? Because when you look at even the reference where Martin make on the 2023 audit report, where he said they audit the office of the president, the thing away they cover at the office of the president, and lack of documentation in respect of areas for vehicle repairs and outstanding debts, and also they make mention of lack of supporting documents and payments. You know, like clear compared to waiting Lara been do. Yes. In the future, Abdul Aziz, under in leadership, able to stand the test of time in exposing financial accountability.
William Shakespeare say, cannot find the mind's construction in the face, right? But I believe, say, he get the capacity. He get the capacity. I don't want to cripple him down because these first 2 years, right, I don't see what he do. Just that, create a scenario like the Lebanon case. I need the assessor, I need to use that for assessor because Lara don't serve from President Kaba in term to former President Kuruma, right? And Madabio. Now one, they report the day. Whether that be kind of special report or whatever, you understand? We come out with. We don't ever get so I stand to be corrected. Say the other presidents today, you don't investigate them on their grounds today. Right? But at time, the world is dynamic. You understand? Because it's dynamic, we try for keep and act on changing times. That creates that opportunity. So if this is only 3 years, and they say because It happened 2-3 years ago. Lara Uchisefa, will lead to a downfall. You understand? Means say, within these 2 years, this man safe. You understand? Abdul Aziz, for do similar thing. He go do am. I don't mean say, he don't get for do am. But I'm not going to use that for just assess, right, and belittle them in that perspective. Until it takes some time, the information they come, then I see, act on that. Documentation. It's shameful for State House, right, where for be the arbiter of accountability. Then people then go do investigation. There is lack of documentation. Vehicle where you go just go by, way not difficult, you understand? Documents no dey. That means say some amount of corruption is there. But when you get the documentation, that they help more for make able. So they refuse for give the documentation. And that's very, very important. And IDAM is Statham. But if we say no more because of waiting lead to Lara and downfall, now Abdul Aziz for do, if we don't do this past 2 years, then we don't fear an objective enough.
Public interest and trust na the Auditor General reports. How the current team na Audit Service Sierra Leone go able for build around that?
Again?
Public interest in the reports and self-trust in waiting in the pool. How they go able for build around that, the current team na Audit Service?
I wish I would work in Audit Service. You understand? Audit Service, therefore, no say public interest na priority. Right? Whatever they do am for the interest of Sierra Leoneans. Aspect of integrity. That is to say, therefore, do what they ought to do, we go make the hearts and minds of Sierra Leoneans them feel satisfied with them. How? Let them do what Salon people they want for investigate the president. But not only for investigate the president. You can't just investigate, you pull results in any form. You understand? You can't just go there, you say power for pull this result here. Something must be there where you go hold to. You see? Therefore double their efforts, therefore stand tall for make sure say public interest. You understand? Is protected. How you protect them? By being robust, by being thorough, by having integrity, then fearlessness, vibrant, bold. You understand? Not look at your position or whatever. Do what you're supposed to do. If you don't work assiduously, so the next government, if you don't be this government, so it will continue there.
But it's possible for let them bite the finger where they feed them, because even resources and capacity where they need, now governments back then go for us.
Yes, we talk for talk's sake. You understand? Now I could say, you go want for be independent, but the circumstances of the time go force you not to be independent. Right? So like that's the situation. He go get evolution, like when me they show now. Now make us say like ACC job, I don't go ever one time. You understand? I don't go ever one time. Because nobody uses me against any other set of people in opposition. You understand? Nobody don't go use me. So before that, I did the churcher. I don't want. So Abdul Aziz get for redoubling efforts. And I believe say it will work. Will they watch him? Like how we don't carry out, so I don't can talk, I don't can talk something positive about her. Right? Contrary to what people usually view me. But that is me. Now wait till I see and wait till I believe in and I do my assessment. You don't go use because what's happening in Lebanon for assessing continuously. Right? Because one person do am, you say for do at all cost. Right? You don't go say because yes, it's a big blunder on this this last report we come. Like big blunder. But again, we don't for lost sight. Say we all can do mistake. We wait for him for the second time. You understand? He do that back. They'll go assess. Say, this man has to, I don't feel say, it's up to standard. So they watch him me the advise am, say whatever document brought before am, especially when camp and report business, if I watch am thoroughly.
The last time where we've been talked to the former Deputy Auditor General, Tamba Momo, one thing he been urge the person where been there in that capacity as secretary to the president and the scope, now for they pay attention on the kind of receipt where then they bring her, especially where a camp and the president in overseas travel. You go on for draw Abdul Aziz the attention to them same things there, yes, where the former Deputy Auditor General been draw the secretary to president.
Definitely.
Attention.
Document brought before you, be it receipt or whatever, if I take you time for watching, especially when you camp a figure. You understand? Figure. Is that figure there I big, eh? That's what the fetch for where then say MCC. A double am. A double am. So as a result of that, if I be very, very careful, Tamba Momo in advice, they in line, not only for and then at the audit service or state house, but every institution, even among we, even this office, because somebody go fake documents, you understand, especially receipts. You go buy, and we say if you come, look at Salon Commercial Bank. There was a time they faced that kind of situation there, right? Where they say they'll go buy Motokade, but the receipts get issue. How it passed, I God no know.
All right, many thanks, Marcus. We join with this morning for can look at what in the future all for government financial accountability under Abdul Aziz in tenure as the newly appointed Auditor General after His Excellency the President be suspend Lara Tilopias of professional misconduct and other alleged crime them where them be say he commit. Well now, so we go end the breakfast show for today. Many thanks to yourself with the watch we and continue for watch Liberty TV throughout the day as we get interesting story them more they bring Canton about different things they up all over the country. Plenty thank you to the technical team, Musa Saukoma and Samuel Thomas, who supports the production for leading this edition of the breakfast show. Meet you. Mina Khadija Bangwa, they wish you all a lovely weekend.
All right, until we meet again, Mabel Kabade say get a good weekend and don't forget throughout the weekend also we get different contents and we will drop now with different platforms. Them continue for like, share and tell more people about Liberty Online TV. Till we meet again, get a good weekend and goodbye.
Develop city, then clean, all clean city, develop.
This is Yvonne Akisoya, Mayor of Freetown. And today, I want to talk to Freetonians about sanitation. We objective, transform Freetown, transforming lives. We not go able to achieve them if we all not join hands. Freetown City Council get role, but every Freetonian also get responsibility. Let we start first with the fact say FCC with the sweep 110 major streets every single morning from Monday to Saturday. But when we don't sweep the streets, if Freetonians then come and they continue for heap dirty in the street, in order to make the place look fine. Now make we get them litter bins them. The yellow bins we wanna go see around. So in the waka, you drink from your water bottle, your water plastic, you eat your packets on tin, not even a ground where you done. Make sure say you put on one of them bins then they. That litter bin they, in order for you host dirty. You know mean say if you pack you host dirty, you can pin her next to the bins them. Not to the idea that. Not give you host dirty to them one way the Allah say clean salon. No say that dirty way they collect now you host. In order for Karango, now the one of the two official sites. In order Karango Kisi Bome, in order Karango King Tom Bome. It turns so it left on a ground. And now we council get our problem, but you self get a problem because now front somebody else in Domot, your own dirty don't end up. So wait you for do it you host dirty. We get the one then a council when we don't certify. Say then approved waste providers. Then they on tricycles, some of them they in a vehicle. You will get host, you will get business, you in a hospital, institution. Everybody from make sure say their waste collected by an approved FCC waste collector. We get the tricycle groups, we get the companies. So you go see them around. We engage with them on a regular basis. And wait till we go do now as we come into this new year. Now for make sure say FCC stand behind them for you for no outside and day and for let them self go to you so that we no go get our gap. When you eat dirty in a gutter, it end up na Lumley Beach, Toke Beach. All the tourism ambition where we get for the city, we lost that potential there. FCC, they spend boku money pan dirty business. The fuel, the labor, the vehicle maintenance, the spare parts, the night operations, the illegal dump site clearing where we get for the do every now and then. All that boku money, I'm not going to say we're not going to spend anything, no, but we're going to reduce some. If Freetonians then do the right thing. Because we're not going to get for go clear illegal dump sites. We're not going to get for sweep as many streets and spend as long. So if we reduce that money we spend now on dirty business, we go able put some on development. We all want for improving municipal schools. We want to improve the markets them. We want for let we see new developments at the city. That money we use for dirty business. You and while we all make up we mind. Pay.
You are watching Liberty Breakfast Show on Liberty Online TV.